And he says to her, "Hey, Cheyenne, do you remember me from yesterday?" She's like, "Yeah, you were following me around." And he goes, "Yeah, that was me." He said, "One of us three is going to be with you in the hallways at all times. I'm going to walk you to your first class, and then Colton's going to pick you up from your first class and walk you to your second class. Tanner's going to walk you from second to third. I'm going to walk you from third to fourth, and then you're going to come to lunch with us. Did your mom tell you?" She's like, "Yeah." And then fifth to sixth, sixth to seventh, and then I'm going to walk you from seventh period to the bus, okay? And she's like, "Okay." So he said, "Okay, let's go." And they're like, "See you next." And so they left. And he walked her to class. I only tell this part usually for the 8th grade girls in a setting like this. Everybody else doesn't care, but 8th grade girls, he walks up to the front door. He opens the door for her. He's a nice guy. He opens the door for her, but she won't go in. She refuses to go in. She gets all teary, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "I don't want to go in there." She's terrified of her own school. She's like, "I don't want to go in there." And he said, "It's okay, like, I'll stay with you." And she's like, "I don't want to go in." By the way, just on a side note, 160,000 students in this country miss school every day because they're terrified. 160,000. And most often, guess what they say they are? Sick. No one calls in terrified. All right, so I can't come to school today. I'm terrified of it. So he said, he's looking at her. She won't go in. He goes, "Dr. Smith, I did not want to be late." So he said, he just walked over, 8th grade girls, he just walked over and he put his arm out and he's like, "Take my arm." And she's like, "What?" And he goes, "Here." And he grabs her arm and he hooks it to his. Right? I heard it. The 8th grade girl's like, "Oh." I know, there's a 5th grade boy who's like, "They touched?" So he put her arm in, so she's like this, so she's probably like this. And he walks her to class. He said some people gave us some weird looks as like escorting her down the aisle to class. He said, but I took her to class and she was fine in there, and then it worked exactly how we said, second period, third period, fourth, lunch, the whole thing. And he said, he walked her to the bus after school and he's like, "Hey, see you tomorrow, Cheyenne." And she was so happy. She's like, "Bye." And she got home from school and her mom said, "How was it?" And she said, "Mom, that was the best day of my life." And her mom said, "Wow, the best day of your life? Why?" She goes, "Mom, I have 3 huge boyfriends." They did this. They decided it wasn't that difficult to do this, right? For Carson, it was between 2 classes, not a big deal. For Colton, it was 2 classes, not a big deal, right? Just walking her to class, not a huge deal. Guess how many people heard her the entire year? 0. Guess how many people pushed her the entire year? 0. Nobody did anything. Well, this tiny little newscasting agency, I don't know if you've ever heard of them. It's kind of small. It's called ESPN. They got word of this story, so they went to interview them. And in the interview, they had them all sitting there. And they said, "Carson, what's it feel like to be a hero?" The favorite part of the whole story is he goes, "Huh?" And they said, "What's it like to be a hero?" And he's like, "I'm not a hero." They said, "Yes, you are. You saved this girl." And he goes, it said it just like a teenage boy. He goes, "Dude, all I did was stand next to her. It wasn't that hard." And I asked a couple of teenagers what they thought. This was my favorite moment. This is Maddie. She said, "Making a difference seems like rare and difficult. Like, how could you ever do something like that? It takes so much." All you do is stand next to her. When you stand up for someone or stand next to someone, you're just telling them they're not alone. So many people end their lives because they feel like they're alone. Saving a life is easier than it seems. I think you guys are getting this, so I want to show you something. I want to do a little analogy here if we can. I'm going to switch to this really quick. This idea. All right, let's talk about chips.
Good one, Fritos Lace. Other one sucks.
All right, so I like this analogy. You got to go with me on this. Okay, this is Nacho. He's my buddy, Nacho. Nacho attends your school.
What does it?
Snake River.
Never mind.
No one. He doesn't have a body, but no one says anything because, it's crossing a boundary. He doesn't even have a head, but everyone's like, to each his own. All right, so you can hear him when he runs through the school because he makes a lot of noise. "Hey, Nacho!" He's like, "Hey." All right, so Nacho goes through school and things are great, and then he gets into 7th grade, we'll say, and for some reason somebody decides they don't like him, they're just gonna, they don't like themselves, or they think they're funny, so they're like, hey Nacho, yeah, you got a lot of saturated fat, man.
I'll just destroy that thing.
See, on the outside, Nacho's gonna go, that's so funny, saturated fat, I do, I read my label, I do. But then something happens on the inside, listen close. Nacho was like, oh, that hurt. That hurt me. But he fixes himself, and he honestly looks the exact same. Everyone's like, Nacho's fine. Hey, Nacho. Hey. But on the inside, something's different. But he's like, I'm good. So he keeps going, and then somebody else later on in the year is like, hey, Nacho, my mom said you have Red 40. Red 40 drives kids crazy. I'm going to tell everyone to stay away from you. Hey, Nacho, why can't you be cool like your brother Cool Ranch? Nacho, why do you always wear red? It looks lame. Pretty soon, Nacho may look okay, but on the inside, he's not okay, right? But we totally pretend. Every kid here totally pretends. School is where we get together and lie to each other about how we're feeling, right?
Yeah.
Because people are like, how are you? I'm fine. Your parents are like, how are you? I'm good. Your teacher's like, how are you? Loving it. And then you get by yourself in your room, and you're like, I'm not okay. I get it. You don't want to tell people. I get it. If you're an 8th grade boy and someone's like, how are you? You don't be like, well, I may look really tough on the outside. But on the inside, I'm squishy. Right? I get it.
Squishy.
So I want to give you a little phrase that you can use at your school if you'd like to. Whenever someone comes up to you and says something mean, maybe they're trying to be funny, maybe they don't like themselves, they say something mean, you're just going to turn to them and say, dude, don't crush my chips. Turn to the person on your right and say, dude, don't crush my chips. Turn to the person on your left and say, dude, don't crush my chips. Don't crush my chips.
It is already done. I am ashamed of you. That's amazing. Don't be ashamed. Thank you.
All right. What is it again, dude?
Don't crush.
Alright, I gotta talk to you about something else. The good news. I got good news. The good news is that bullying at school is going down. That's good news. The bad news is that bullying online is going up.
Never mind.
Faster than bullying on school is going down. Now, when you see this type of situation, which some of you might be seeing, I don't know if it's 5th grade, it probably is there by then. Most people would look at this situation up here and they would say, Dr. Smith, that girl needs help. She does. She needs someone to tell her like, hey, it's okay, it's not a big deal, whatever. But guess what research is showing who needs the most help? These two. Listen to what the science says. Cyberbullying is a signal that the bully has emotional problems that need to be addressed by a counselor. Now, if someone cyberbullies you, you can write back and say, we talked about you in an assembly. You have emotional problems that need to be addressed by a qualified adult. Right? You can say that. Report online bullying because it helps those who have emotional problems. It really helps them avoid prison. All right. Those of you, if this is happening to you, let me tell you a couple things I'd like you to do. One, if you'll just leave that app or leave that website or don't answer for quite a while, just ignore them, they usually go away. They feed off your answer. They feed off you writing back. Okay, second, if you'll just block them, they usually go away. Just keep blocking them. Most, if they really are into it, they'll make another account and come after you, block them again. Usually making that many accounts gets old and they find another target, right? Third, save everything. You have a screenshot, I'm assuming. Save everything. Here's why. So this is pretty new in the United States, right? We're just dealing with this. But guess what? Just 3 months ago, I would never say this in a elementary school. I think they'd be just, but 3 months ago, in the state of Texas, in Dallas, an 18-year-old girl was sentenced to 10 years in prison for cyberbullying. The boy she was bullying ended up taking his own life. They found the messages on her phone, on his phone, which were supposedly anonymous. You guys, nothing is anonymous. As soon as you get the right people involved, they can track you. They tracked it to this girl. They found the messages on, in the backups of her computer. They found the messages, and she had never talked to him. She had never touched him. She had only sent him these messages, and she's going to prison for 10 years. She's 18. She's going to miss out on 10 years of her life because she was just sending these messages. So, save everything, because now it can be used in prosecution. Lastly, tell someone you trust. If I'm dealing with a psycho, I tell people. People send me messages all the time. My Facebook page, people like, Dr. Hank, people like you make me sick. So I print it out, put it on the fridge for my wife so she can feel bad for me. Right? It's okay to tell someone you trust, even if you did something wrong. Here's a big one. And I don't know if, hopefully you're going to be mature enough to talk about this, but there was a group of bullies in high school who pretended to be a girl. They got a boy to send them pictures of himself, and then they told him, by the way, we're not a girl, we're these guys, and we're going to blackmail you. And they wanted hundreds of dollars from him for these pictures, right? He ended up taking his own life. They went to jail. Even if you did something wrong, it's okay. Tell someone you trust. They can help you work it out. Now, if you're being bullied, I promise you, you're going to be okay. In fact, if you're being bullied, you're in a pretty good group. Guess who was bullied in high school? Will Smith was pretty bullied in high school. He said he was really skinny. No, it was junior high, sorry. In junior high, he was really bullied, and then he ended up getting his own TV show, and you know how that kind of changed everything. So, this is what he said. He said, you have to stop letting people who do so little for you control so much of your life. You just have to ignore them and get away from it as much as you can. Ben Stiller, he's done okay. He was bullied throughout high school. He says, I was pretty insecure because I had bad skin. It's a silly thing when you look back, but at the time it drove me crazy. High school can be brutal because of the cliques and the way kids treat each other, but stick it out. It gets better. Stick it out. It gets better. All right. My last 2 minutes, you guys, I want to do something that I don't normally do.